Yo, what's going on everyone? It's me, Skaterlunatic. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how to make that cool metallic 3D chrome type text and everything inside of Blender. And I will be providing a link to the texture that I use down below. It's actually from Unsplash and I found it, and it's really good for this clean chrome that I use. So it's not going to be like the metallic chrome that you're used to seeing. It's going to be more of a super clean type of chrome. And I guess the easiest way to, show you guys is to show like this on the screen or whatever I put on the screen to show you guys this is kind of what I made with it, and this is the type of chrome that you can make with it. But other than that, guys, let's just get right into the video, and we're actually going to be getting started in Illustrator. And what I'm going to do, I'm literally just going to make like a 16 by 20 or 20 by 16 just to make it, horizontal. And from there, what we're going to do is we're just going to type in our text about metallic. There we go. And I'm just going to increase the font to like 200 just so it's easier to see. Center it. And I'm actually going to pick a font that I like for this. I'm probably going to use, if I can find it, Estrella. That's a really good font that I like. I like how it looks, especially with this effect. So I'm just going to go put it to 300. Okay, never mind. How about 500? There we go. There we go. And if you want, you can make it all like this, but I'm just going to keep it like that because I like how it looks. And from there, let me just center it a little bit. All right, guys. So once you get all this ready, you're actually going to go to 3D materials and you're going to click inflate. And what inflate does is it kind of makes it like, how do I put it? 3D, but only like this. So that way you're able to have shadows and everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to inflate both sides. And from there, I'm actually going to check the perspective a little bit just to make sure. There you go. You can kind of see on it right here. It's 3D. But with that, we're just going to check the depth. I usually go to like a super small depth, and taper. Obviously, you can customize whatever you want. See, as you can see, it can kind of get weird when you do it, but you want to just kind of keep the taper at 100, the volume at 100. And with that, I mean, we pretty much got what we need done. All we have to do from here is just click export 3D object, and you can delete the bottom one and you just put it as a dot object. And from there, we just export it. So I'm just going to export it to the desktop. And with that, we can just close out Adobe Illustrator and we don't have to worry about being in it anymore. We got the object right here on the desktop. We got it ready to go. So from here, I'm just going to open up Blender. I'm using Blender 3.6 right now. I don't know what version's out whenever you guys watch this, but just let you guys know. From here, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to go to File, Import, and I'm going to go to wavefront.object. And from there, I'm just going to open that folder. And I'm going to click Asset 1 Object. And from there, boom, we got our text in here. Let me try it one last time. There we go. Okay, so that's what you're going to want to do. I don't know why I always have trouble with that, but this is basically going to make it to where you can actually have one in a live kind of viewport shader, and you can see it real time while you're messing with it over here. So I'm just going to put this a little bit more to the side, put this one to there. With that, I'm just going to import again. The difference between this one, as you can see already, is this one's kind of pretty much a basic shape for it, whereas this one's kind of like a good preview of it. So if I do this, it looks like nothing. But when we open up the world shader, so you're gonna go down here, you can drag this up and down. I recommend making it a little bit bigger. From here, just click here and click shader editor. And this is gonna show you kind of the materials. If you don't have a material yet for this, you could just go down here to material. And as you can see, it has materials, but I'm actually going to delete these materials if possible. Just get rid of those and then make a new one. And with that, here's where the magic starts. So it's already got the one material we got. All we got to do is make it metallic, and then we got to make the specular, or excuse me, not the specular, the roughness basically 0. And as you can see, it's already got that metallic look. For me personally, I don't like it being like that, so I put the roughness up to like 150, usually 0.150, because it gives it a cleaner kind of tint, in my opinion, and it looks nicer. From here, we're gonna go back to this this window here, and with this, we're going to click, instead of object, we're gonna click world. From here, we're going to just drag this over here, drag this out here, so it gives it a little bit of space. Add texture, environment texture. And what this is going to allow, oops, wrong way. This is going to allow us to have a custom texture that we want added to basically the 3D object. So the one I'm going to use today, I am going to also give you a link to so you guys can download. is, where's it at? It is this one right here. And the reason I like this one specifically is it just looks really clean, and I don't know why it looks so clean, but I love it. I just need to put it to a mirror ball, and if I put it to 0, oh, it's having a little bit of trouble. Here we go. There we go. This is what it actually looks like if I put it to the right shader. And the way you don't want to have, if you don't want to have like all this background, you know, like white background, all you do is you go to render, film, transparent, and that's going to make it like this. So as you can see, if I bump up the metallic, it looks like that, and it looks a little bit different. Let me just change the material a little bit just so I can show you guys the difference. So that's what it looks like without it. This is what it looks like with it, and it's simple as that. I mean, you can kind of see, you know, you could kind of see some of the metallic right there, but it's a little bit hard to see, obviously. So what we can do from here is we're going to add another color saturation value. What this is going to allow us to do is we're going to be able to change the value of the actual metallic. We're going to change the saturation as well. If there's any, the mirror ball, the reason I picked mirror ball is because equilateral kind of makes it, as you can see, like have its own weird thing. But if you click mirror ball, it's a lot more refined because it goes around the whole area, not just one spot. But if you want, you can actually close this and keep it on here, because unless your computer can't handle this type of stuff, that's the reason I suggested that. Another way to do it would be, I would say a gamma. So that way, when you put that in, it kind of gives it more of a gammy kind of thing. So that way you can see more if you wanted to. So I'm just going to put it to 3 instead. But as you can see, the more gammy you give it, the nicer it looks. It looks like clean, clean, clean. So I'm actually going to give it a 4, bump this up to like 6. And as you can see, now it's got kind of that metallic effect that we were wanting, going for. I don't remember exactly how to add color. I'm being honest with you right now. I don't really remember. That's on me though. That's literally on me. These are all those nodes that we're putting together to make this. I mean, this is the simple way to do it for this texture. Obviously, if I used a different texture, so let's say I used one of my real metallic ones, this is what it would look like. And as you can see, it's kind of crazy. So let me just bump that down, bump the hue back to 0 or 5 or something. But as you can see, it's completely different and it's a lot more confusing. That's why I put that to like 0.4 and then this to like 0.7, and you get like the metallic effect as well. But I don't want all that, especially if I do that. It makes it way crazy, wild. It's not my favorite, as you can see. I'm still also learning, you know, I'm not the best at Blender, but I've learned this and I thought it was cool, so I wanted to learn it and teach it. And with this, the noise texture, I still don't remember exactly this does. I did use it for a different one though. Very interesting effect with it. I don't know why though. It always you know, be crazy with me. It's here. Hold on, let me figure this out real quick and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I fixed it, and this is kind of what it's supposed to be like. You're supposed to have the noise texture, then the hue, then the gamma, then the background. Basically each one does something different. So the noise texture just, you know, decreases or increases the texture of whatever it is you're doing. So I'd leave it at 1, but if you wanted that -1 and kind of get like that, you know, shiny effect, you could do that, or just leave it at like a how about like a, I don't know, 0.5, get it kind of a bubblegum almost effect. And I use distortion to kind of change the color a bit. As you can see, you can make it a little bit more red, you can make it like that. The roughness is basically to make it more rough or not. Detail, you can add more detail if you wanted to. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that there. And the hue, saturation, and everything is, you know, hue, saturation is the same, but value is kind of what makes it dark or light. And then same with the gamma. So if you wanted a little bit lighter, you reduce the gamma. If you wanted it darker, you increase the gamma. And then obviously the background is how bright you want everything. So let's say we wanted it to a 2, and just like that, we have ourselves some dope chrome. Also for this type of image, I took it off a mirror ball just because it was way too much. So as long as you kind of mess with that, you can also do like smart, cubic, or any of that. I'm just gonna do linear, keep it like that. And from there, we can pretty much render this if we wanted to. Got ourselves a nice glossy kind of chrome effect. As you can see, the more you look around, the more it does it. And from here, all we'd have to do is add a camera. 2 ways to add a camera that can be really good. I'm just gonna put it back to the timeline, put this down and go back to this so it's easier on my system. is the first way is to link it to a circle in the center. I used to do this for 3D intros all the time, and I also centered this just so it's centered from all the letters. And to do that, you just click whatever it is, right click set origin, geometry to origin. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click add, I'm going to click camera. I'm gonna make a camera, but it's gonna be literally like inside of it. And if you click 0 on your numpad or 0 on your keyboard, if you're not getting your camera linking to your keyboard, just click preferences and then go to input, emulate numpad, and it'll be the same thing. But from here, I'm actually going to just move the camera. I don't know why it's doing that. It's been a minute since I've really used this. I would just go to here, move, and then drag it there. Just drag it out. There we go. Now we got to add a decent spot, pretty much. It's not too crazy. We can make it bigger if we wanted to, just so we know it's the camera, but we don't really need to do that. It's gonna be the same no matter what. You could have it just like that and mess with the focal length, so you can just make it, fit. I don't like doing that. I like having more control of my camera. So I'm actually going to add a circle, an empty circle, bump it up a lot. So I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to click the circle, and I'm going to parent to object. So what this does is when you do control the circle, you now control the camera, and you're able to do stuff like this. The reason I know how to do this is because I used to make 3D intros in 2011 to like 2015 when that was a thing. So I know how this works to make like the little woo, like a little thing, that kind of stuff. So I know how to do that. What we're gonna do is we're actually going to just zoom out a little bit. We're gonna go back to the center. We're actually gonna center this up. There we go. And from there, we can make it two things we could do. Like, let's say we wanted to do a 3D spinning thing, right? We just didn't want to render it to like this. We can actually like do a 3D spin if we wanted to zoom it. I would just zoom it out a bit just so, it's this way. And the easy way to do it would be to just keyframe your first one. So we're just going to keyframe here. We're going to go to the very end, 250, and we're just going to go ahead and, if I can find the correct one, we're just going to rotate it. Is it this one? No. Is it that one? No. Yeah, we're just going to do 360, and it should do 1 full rotation. If I'm correct. Oh, it's been a minute. I am sorry, guys. It has been a minute. Like I said, I don't do this like I used to, but we're just going to go ahead and do 1 rotation, 360, and then there we go. Now we got ourselves a 3D spinning metallic logo. And if this is playing like it is right now, we're actually able to go in and just change it as it goes. So let's say we wanted it to be a little bit darker, maybe we want it a little bit brighter, we can change this on the fly. As you can see, it's literally that easy to change, make it different, and we could do whatever we wanted to it. So let's say I wanted more detail or less detail, so I'm gonna go maybe to 0.5 instead, and with that we're gonna increase the gamma to make it redder. And as you can see, this is very customizable. You're able to do what you want with it. It looks really cool. And obviously, I've seen it a little bit on Instagram. I haven't seen anyone go this in depth though with it, which I don't know why. It's just a cool effect. Spinning object in photo or in Blender. And as you can see, nothing is moving besides the camera, which is the reason I prefer this method, is because then you're able to just watch it happen. And if you just wanted to go back to it, like you want to work on it, you could do this, and then while it's doing it, you can just have it like this in the background. Obviously, like I said, I'm still relearning Blender. Last time I used it, they had none of this stuff. It was like in 2014, 2013 when I used it last, so it's a little bit different from when I did it. Let's just say that. So, but yeah, guys, the final thing we would do for this, so let's say we wanted it this frame specifically right here, or let's say we just wanted to actually, change the actual thing. So let's say we wanted it that big instead for some reason, or just move this out. What we could do is make it a little bit bigger, maybe move it to right there, and we're going to output it to a 1920 by 1080 for basics. Or if we wanted to, we could do a 4K, 8K, doesn't matter what size. You could do any size you wanted. Frame rate, what doesn't matter unless you're doing an animation. We're just going to output it to desktop. We're going to put it to our object if we want it there or wherever we want it. From there, all we got to do is make sure that if you wanted ambient occlusion or bloom, you can add that. I mean, as long as that film is on, it's pretty good to go. The only thing different would be cycles. If you wanted cycles, as you can see, it takes a little bit longer and it'll take longer to do because it's really highly detailed at that point and it's using noise as well. But if you use Eevee, it's pretty much ready to go. I don't know when they added Eevee, but it's probably one of the best things I've ever seen added to Blender personally. What I might do is add ambient occlusion just to add a little bit, as you can see, of shading. So you can add some shading to it to make it a little bit nicer, and you can factor it as much as you want. So I'm just gonna add a little bit to that. And with that, all we gotta do from here is just click render image or F12, and there's your image, just like that, that fast. And you just save by going to image, save as, go to whatever document, and then you just title it metallic or whatever. I'm just gonna tell it metallic, save as, and then from there, if you wanna save, you can save or exit out. And then boom, you got your metallic image right here, full quality. So if you had it 4K or anything, it'd be that, but that's it right there, guys. And that's how you make cool metallic, you know, 3D art mixed with Adobe Illustrator. I know this was a little bit lengthier tutorial probably than usual, but I thank you guys who did stick around and watch till the end, because this is now the end pretty much. There's not much more I could show you than this, but I guess I could show you guys the template that I have. Let me just close this. And this is what I mean by clean chrome. So this one is the one I made, and ooh, that's image is, hold on, let me get that image back. This one right here. And this is the type of chrome that I'm trying to learn to replicate. All it was a brightness and contrast, as you can see, and a hue saturation, which I don't understand why it, you know, worked. I think it was because I did a negative brightness and contrast to it. So instead of it being a 1, I just put it to the negatives, and it became this super clean freaking, you know, chrome for some reason, which I like. And I was able to change it just like that. So if I wanted it to 3.3, it gives it this super nice shine. And I also added a sun to give it a little bit more. But obviously, as you can see, you can make some really nice chrome with this. You can make what you want with this. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. It helps me out a lot. And like I always say, leave a comment down below with what you want to see, and I'll see what I can do with that, or even leave you a link to a video that I find that'll help you out. Because obviously I don't know everything. I'm not going to know everything. I just know what I know and things I learned. So take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.